John, let's start by looking back at Saturday there. How easy has it been to lift the players for this next coming game?
Oh, let's make no bones about it. It was a disappointment. It was, a big disappointment, and very, very painful and sore, and you're licking your wounds. However, you've got to move on because no one else is going to feel sorry for us, and we can't feel sorry for ourselves either. As I said, it's Saturday, we put ourselves in a great situation by beating Arbroath. We had a lot of people here with a lot of expectation, and we didn't deliver. However, when it comes to Monday, we go over the game, video analysis, we go over everything, and we dissect it, and after that, you've got to move on. That's my job. My job is then to lift the players and get them focused, because there's another game coming right up on Saturday, another home game, a good opportunity, but nonetheless, an opponent that is going to be fighting for their lives down at the bottom of the table. And the game at Ochilview, although we eventually won 3-1, there was times in the game where there wasn't an awful lot between the teams, and that could well be the case on Saturday. So we've got to be preparing and being ready for a difficult game. Although it's like second top against bottom, we've found every game in this league to be very, very tough, and very thin margins between winning and losing in nearly every game. Because every game we've lost, we probably could have won by taking our chances or whatever. So there's not a lot in any game. But as I said, it's my job to lift the players, and we need to be ready to go on Saturday at 3 o'clock, and that is what we've been doing. As I say, after Monday morning, going over things, training Monday, Tuesday we were off. New Year's Day, we just changed our day off, which was normally on a Wednesday, to being in on the Wednesday. We've been in today, Thursday, and we'll be in tomorrow, and we've prepared for the game. There is no doubt in my mind that Raith Rovers are prepared, as best as any team can possibly be, going into any game and every game. When they cross that line, they've got to be able to be totally committed for the 90 minutes, and that's what we are intending. I'm certainly expecting on Saturday.
You mentioned the Arbroath game and then the Saturday game there, and the word that you used a lot is consistency. How do you develop, or can you manufacture consistency, or how do you get us consistent?
Yeah, well, that is the trick, isn't it? That's a trick. It would normally come from confidence and winning games. But we've been doing that. We've actually been winning games, and then what is it? It comes in. Is it complacency? It creeps in. Hard to put your finger on it, but you would go along the lines of at times. I'm not saying it is, because I don't know the answer. If I had the answer, it wouldn't happen in the first place. But you've got to look at, consistency. We went there winning games for a spell, and then you throw in a game going back to forfeit in our first defeat. We're in a winning position, we're playing well, and one or two things happen in the game, and it changes. And these things are set to try you. But that is what we're looking to get, is that consistency level. It will come from confidence, from winning games, and then being extra determined to continue it, and not to sort of drop your standards. If you drop your standards slightly, then, as I say, thin lines to win games in this league. So if you drop your standards slightly, then you'll find that you've either drawn a game or you've lost a game. And unfortunately, that's where the consistency comes in, and it goes slightly up and down. And we're looking for the players to keep their foot to the gas for the 92, 3, 4, 5 minutes in every game of every part of the game.
Yeah. Focusing on Stenny this weekend a wee bit more, obviously they were pulled back by a late equaliser by Dumbarton in their most recent game. They've got a new manager in Colin McMenamin, and even though they are bottom of the league, you have said it's not going to be there are no easy games. They will not be an easy opponent. What are you expecting from them overall?
Yeah, they said Colin was caretaker manager after we played them the last game. They actually went on to beat Falkirk in the Scottish Cup directly after our game, so they got a great result. They've kind of not quite kept that level of performance up. Well, the results anyway haven't been so good for them, but they were 1-0 up at the weekend against Dumbarton, it goes 1-1, we're 2-1 up against Dumbarton, and then obviously the last kick of the ball, Ross Forbes scored with another free kick. He scored 2 unbelievable free kicks, so it took 2 wonder goals from Ross Forbes to prevent Stenhousemuir winning. We are expecting a difficult game, but it's very much, this game again is very much about what we do, and we look for our players to respond to last week's disappointment, and we need to start a winning run again, build the confidence up, get that consistency level up, and finish we're just one game over the halfway stages, 17 to go, a long way to go, but we want to be trying to get this consistency run going as soon as possible, and build on it and take it right through the second half of the season.
Looking at ourselves again, we always ask about injury news. What's the overall injury picture? And I understand there's some news about one of our longer term injured players.
Yeah, Regan Henry, as we all know, came on loan from Celtic. His loan deal is up tomorrow. The news we got initially from the Celtic medical staff was that Regan would be back within 3 and 4 months, which would have taken him to the end of January, beginning of February. However, the latest news is that Regan has had a brace on his knee for some time now, and that brace will stay on for 3 to 4 months, taking Regan with his brace on until the end of February, which would mean then after that he would need to then be rehabilitating and going back and starting from scratch with his fitness and even just building the knee up, which you would need to anticipate being a month. So we're really looking at Regan not getting back until April. And having that been the case, and talking with Celtic, it's common sense to, unfortunately, Regan's not going to come back in the second half of the season now. It would be for potentially, possibly 6 weeks at the end, and it would be tying up a loan deal maybe for someone else from now till then. So it's a big blow to myself. I love working with Regan, he loved working here, and he was doing exceptionally well, and we look forward to him coming back, but it's not going to happen. So that's a blow. Sad for the boy. However, we need to move on, as you do. So Regan unfortunately was out of the equation, and we have no more injuries. Everyone is available for selection. We've got a clean bill of health. Long may that continue. So we're at full strength.
Question that's always going to come up at this in the first interview of January, the transfer window. The press guys asked about it. It's now open. It's been open for 3 days. It brings excitement and silliness in equal measure, as I think we all know. You talked to the press guys about how our loan players, some of their loans are coming to an end. Overall, what are the key targets and positions that you're looking at for the transfer window?
Yeah, so the loan deals are important to that. So we have 2 goalkeepers on loan, and that was because of the injury to Kieran Wright. So Kevin Silva is going back to Hearts, so that he will finish after the Airdrie game. His loan deal finishes after the Airdrie game, so he will go back to Hearts after that. And Kieran, we're just waiting on Rangers to confirm, but the indication was that they were going to take him back. So if that was the case, then we obviously need to find a goalkeeper. Kieran's loan deal finishes up at the weekend, so we are still waiting to hear from Rangers to confirm that. But it was kind of suggested that might well be the case. So we're looking for a goalkeeper. So that's the first thing we're looking for, is a goalkeeper. These 2 goalkeepers, if they were to go back, would open up 2 loan deals. Regan Henry not re-signing is opening up 3 loan deals. The other loan deal we have is Callum Crane. So Callum Crane's deal, I think, runs out around about the 17th. So we will speak between now and then with Livingston, Callum, and it would be I would be hopeful that he would be returning here to the end of the season. But we have to speak to everyone involved. But I'm keen to try and keep Callum here. So that would mean that we possibly would have 3 loan deals potentially we could use. Whether we do or whether we don't, that remains to be seen. But one of these guys are going to have to be a goalkeeper. Yeah, we're still waiting on Dan Armstrong deciding if he's going to be, playing his football with the Rovers to the end of the season, and that would probably determine whether or not I need a winger or I don't. In my own opinion, I think I need two wingers. I need Dan to sign, and I need one other to give competition to the two wingers that we've got. And so that's where I'm kind of looking to strengthen there. Yeah. So we'll not be able to make, you know, loads and loads of signings. I don't think anyone would anticipate us making loads and loads of signings. But if we manage to keep a hold of Dan, bring in another couple, 3 probably maximum, then that would see us have a really strong squad to see us right through.
Right, yeah. And in the opposite way, in the opposite direction, do you feel any pressure to hold on to our key players?
Not our key players, no. I mean, I don't do the social media, but I understand because the media guys here, the paper guys, they were suggesting that there's things going around, and I can only honestly, I'm as honest as days long. I think all the Rovers fans will know that, but me by now, and there's not one person from another football club contacted me regarding any other players as we speak here right now at approximately 1 o'clock on Thursday, the 3rd of January. No one from another football club has actually said that you know, the 2 players that they mentioned was Lewis Vaughan and Kyle Benedictus, and there's no one from any other football club phoned me or emailed or any communication saying that we are interested in this player Kyle Benedictus or this player Lewis Vaughan.
Okay, right. Final question, John, on a somewhat lighter note. Obviously the players are now back in full training, they've had minimal time off over the festive period. How are they all looking in terms of, have any of them overloaded over Christmas, or are they all looking in great shape as usual? Yeah,
well, you know, we only really had the 1 day off, so it's not really any different. Now, we was I sitting down at every one of their Christmas table looking at what they were eating? No, obviously I wasn't. But they're all, the vast majority of them are quite young. And they go, you know, we're quite an athletic team. You know, they're all you know, quite slight generally. You know, some of them are good feed would be actually help them. You know, but no, there's no adverse reaction from having an extra bit of chicken or turkey or whatever, or at New Year, you know, some alcohol or whatever. The players weren't off long enough for it to make any difference to them, to be honest with you. So
it's one of these light-hearted questions that you always like to ask.
Yeah, no, they're fine. The players very good with regards to that. There's been everyone was in training Boxing Day, and then obviously on the 2nd of January yesterday we're all back in, and we're ready to go.
Great. Well, so are we, John. Thanks for your time and good luck.